Hi everyone, I'm Rachel, and in this tutorial, I'll show you how to create a double exposure using the Color Therapy app. I don't know about you, but I love double exposures with scenes of nature juxtaposed inside a portrait. This tutorial will take you step by step behind how to apply this to any portrait. So this is sort of my inspiration. So it's a forest, it's kind of misty. So I'm gonna use this image under People, Fair Lady 4. So I want it to look like her face is sort of fading into a mountain scene in her hair. And then I wanna have like a forest below her in her neck. If you go under the Dark Shades 2 palette under Basic, set that to Solid, and I would grab a muted turquoise, a green, you wanna get a medium green, and you also wanna get a dark green, as well as a dark blue or dark brown for the mountains. In the palette next to it, called Hair Shades, grab a skin color tone that you like, and then also a cream, and then maybe a beige for the mountains. First, tap to fill in her face with a skin tone, and then tap to fill in her neck with a dark green. Then you wanna zoom into the face and go ahead and just add in all the shadows, highlights, and details that you'd like to have. I'm using the airbrush tool for shading and the pen tool for the eyelashes. I'm putting the highlights on the nose, above the lip, and upper cheek below the eye. As you're blending the face, go ahead and turn off coloring inside the lines mode and just blend some of the colors into the hair. This will help later when we're blending in the mountains. Now let's add in the background and the mountains. So first I'll use the spray tool, set the opacity to 55 and the size to about 65. Now use both a dark medium turquoise as well as a brown and just start to shade in the mountains with your finger. And make sure coloring inside the lines mode is set to off. You're just gonna start to blend these dark colors into the face and neck. I'm gonna make a few areas darker than others. It's sort of just building up those mountain shapes. Now you're gonna use the marker tool to add in the mountains. So set the opacity to 40 and the size to 15. And I'm gonna use a dark brown and just trace out the mountains in her hair. I'm gonna have a couple zigzag shapes in here. Now continue building up those mountains. Use the airbrush tool to blend them in. Use varying opacities. I'm gonna start with the size at 68 and just using a dark brown, I'm just gonna blend them in. In general, your mountains are gonna be a bit darker at the bottom and they get lighter the higher up you see them. So just continue blending them in. Use a little bit of a cream color just to lighten up the tips. And just lower the size, and you can add in some snow if you want. Now for the background, go under Essential Classic, and I'm gonna use this light foggy gray color, and just tap it into the background, and bring that gray into the top of her head where it's white as well. You can also add some clouds into the head with the spray tool, opacity at 90 and the size at 85. And just using white, you can just add some clouds above her head. And then you want to add in the little trees. So airbrush, size 0, opacity 100. I'm going to use that light foggy green color. And you can just start to add in these little trees here, just going upward. And you want them to overlap over her shoulders and into the background. Also try using black for some variation. The very last step is to use that gray from the background and use the smudge tool. I set the opacity at 18 and the size at 90 and just blend in that area on the neckline to start to make it look really foggy. This is going to be your mist. And blend it into the hair a little bit too. I think the pencil sketch effect over this with the lines removed suits it really well and adds in that misty forest feel. The wood background or old painting effects look really nice too. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Color Therapy YouTube channel so you don't miss any new tutorial videos. Thanks for watching our tutorial. You can get the Color Therapy app for free on the App Store.